No, that's not the right word, is it? Darn, I always get it wrong. But you guys know who I am. Well, apparently the teleprompter doesn't want to work, so I'm just going to have to... Okay, if you have been here before, one time or many, you are welcome. All People's Church is more than a place to gather on Sundays. It is a community. It is a spiritual home where you may develop and deepen your gifts. We gather to feed our minds and souls that we may each become blessings to our families, to our friends, and to the larger world around us. This morning we welcome to the pulpit the Reverend Denise Blakely. Denise has served Texas Methodist congregations for 24 years in Ellis, Navarro, McLennan, and Tarrant counties. Denise comes to us by way of Eastside Ministries, or Eastside Community Assistance Agency, here in Fort Worth, where she has been a member of the trustee board of Eastside since 2015. She served as president of the trustee board, executive director from 2019 to 2022, and says that her goal is to aid my brothers and sisters in finding a path out of poverty and hopelessness. Welcome, Denise. We don't seem to have any announcements today, so would you just please settle comfortably and listen to Mikhail, our pianist, and he's going to make you feel wonderful. We invite body or spirit for the chalice lighting, opening hymn, and spoken affirmation. At this hour, in small towns and big cities, in single rooms and ornate sanctuaries, many of our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations are also lighting a flaming chalice. As we light our chalice today, let us remember that we are part of a great community of faith. May this dancing flame inspire us all to fill our lives with Unitarian Universalist ideals of love, justice, and truth. Please join us now in singing our opening hymn number 1017, A New Way. Please remain standing for our, not the lighting of the chalice, we already did that. Sorry. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Thank you. Please be seated. I would like to invite the young and the young at heart up to the front for our story for all ages. Sit here with me. Thank you. Good morning. Okay, so today's story is a poem, and it's called Where Are All the Good People? It's by Tamika Fryer Brown. Life's not always fair, and sometimes it's scary. When places aren't safe, when protectors harm us, when leaders try to lead us toward fear and hate. There's nothing fair or reassuring about that. Maybe it would be helpful to know that these aren't the first troubling times our world has seen, that none has ever lasted forever. Tyrants rise and fall, bad guys win and lose, evil gets overtaken by good, when good people stand together against it. Who and where are the good people? They are all around us, every day, telling truths, seeking justice, persisting. They are the helpers, the listeners, the lovers of everyone. There are more good people than not. They will win. We will win if we believe and don't get tired of believing. Change makers, that's what they'll call us. Tomorrow's from now, if you and I fight for fairness, starting today. Do you believe that we can? I do too. Action is power, so let's all get to work. Let's sing the kids out now. Do not ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And people who are alive are open and responsive to what it is the world needs. Our offering is an extension of gratitude for this, our religious home, where we are helped to discover and act upon that which makes us come alive. It is our custom to share the undesignated cash offerings that are collected each week. We do this on a quarterly basis for a non-profit, profit, or charitable organization. Our plate recipient for this quarter is Eastside Ministries. The offering will now be gratefully accepted. Will the ushers please come forward?
speaking of charity and love. The first one is ubi caritas, is in Latin. The text comes from the 10th century, and the words ubi caritas means with charity, et amor, and love. So the text reads something like this: where there is charity and love, where there is charity and love, God is there. Likewise, when we come together, we are united as one. With a sincere heart, let us love one another. And the second song is an old gospel hymn tune called If I Can Help Somebody. Love and charity. I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. as a neighbor ought. If I can bring back beauty to a world uprot, if I can spread love's message that my mother taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not, then my living shall not, then my living shall not be in vain.
That was beautiful. Thank you, David and the choir. We arrive from singular rooms. We arrive from different points of view. We arrive from a common longing in our hearts to reach out and touch one another. We arrive with a common passion for justice and love to prevail. In our Book of Memory and Hopes this morning, we have been asked to remember. Each week there is a journal outside the entrance of the sanctuary where you can write a message of memory and hope. Also, at any time during our service, you are welcome to come forward and light a candle at the chancel over here on the side. Today from our Book of Memory and Hope, there's only one, and it happens to be from me. My brother Andy Johnson, who you guys helped pray through and send positive energy to and beat lymphoma, recently had a foot surgery. And the surgery went well enough, but his recovery's not doing really great. So if you guys could send my brother Andy some positive energy and your thoughts and prayers, that would be so, so appreciated. And he always loves it when I tell him that you guys are all thinking of him. So thank you so much for that. Please, everybody, join me now in a few moments of quiet meditation to hold and uplift and celebrate all of those among us. And then Misha will play for us.
everybody on the release. It's good to be back. Thank you all for the invitation. I want everybody to join the conversation with me. I believe that every sermon is actually a conversation. We're just talking back. Feel free. I have no problem with being heckled. As a pastor, you learn to have big old thick skin, so it's okay. Today we're going to enter into a conversation about transition. Not change, but transitioning. Transition has a very, very bad reputation. Okay? When you're birthing, and it's a lot of women who've had children know, they give the name transition to that time when you go from horrible pain to more horrible pain. That's what they call transition. I don't really have a bone pick where fix these definitions are there. I would rather just call it horrible, terrible crap. It's my new name for everything. Horrible, terrible crap. Transition actually means that you're in movement. Connect. I have this thing about movement, kinesis, and continual movement towards something. All of us, even when you're just sitting there, you're moving towards something. Even as this particular service comes to a close, there will be a bunch of us trying to make movement toward a bathroom somewhere. Because as we sit here, our bodies are continuously doing what they're supposed to do and a lot of stuff they're not supposed to do, okay? So movement is just a part of our lives. Kinetic. We are kinetic beings. Everything about us is constantly whirling and twirling towards something. There's stuff that we can see, stuff that we cannot see. Things that we realize that we know that are happening to us and around us, and there are many things that not only do we not know, we have zero control over. No control. Right now, the thing that I've been pondering is whether this world that I was chosen to live in is going to transition over into the goodness, the potential goodness that everything in this world can be, or are we descending into a chaos and a darkness that frightens the hell out of me? This is where my mind is now. One thing I do know for sure is that this entire world, our country, our city is in a transitional period. And one of the things that we can control about the transition is making our voice heard as to what we're going to transition into as people of forward, as Universalist Unitarians, as whoever you are, whatever space you're filling at this point in time, you have a voice. And there are a lot of times when your voice can determine what a thing transitions into. I'd like to get this out of the way before I go further into our conversation. I hate change. Yuck. 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 I hate change. I hate change. I've always hated change. When I was a little girl, I remember I didn't want to go to the second grade as a first grader because I liked the teacher I had in the first grade. I cried buckets when the new school year came. I do not like change. I don't. But somewhere around 50 and 60, I realized that it's inevitable. I also learned that to transition into wherever, whoever, and whatever I'm supposed to be, one of the things that I'll have to learn is how to endure. How to endure. When it comes to transitions, you have to learn how to endure. Let me give you a quick definition of transition. Transition is just simply moving into who or what or where you're supposed to be at that given time. Transition is us moving into who or what or where we're supposed to be at that given time. The reason I say specifically that given time, because transition is ongoing. Times change. Before you know it, you may have to transition into another state of being, or another city, or another way of thinking. So you have to remain fluid. You have to clean pure. At the beginning of this year, in January, I was living it up. And in February, I think it was the 27th, I was actually at a luncheon with our police chief and our mayor. And then all of a sudden, I had this choking feeling. I was eating strawberries. I thought that's what that was. Then I had developed an allergy to strawberries. There's one thing we all realize those of us getting older. There's some crap that's always waiting to take us out. And so you sort of expect it now, right? You're like, oh, bloody hell, what is this? So all of a sudden I started just this choking feeling, literally, like someone had their hands around my neck. And so I left that function and just drove myself to the emergency room, Waxahachie, Texas, because I live in DeSoto. And so I went to the emergency room and said, I either need a big old shot of clarity or I'm having a heart attack. Because heart attacks present different in women. And so they were getting ready to discharge me and give me clarity. Until I'm going to the door, a nurse runs out, says your EKG is fine. However, your blood test that we got earlier than normal shows that you have had quite a few heart attacks. You've had at least 3 that we know of today. That was February 27th. March the 6th, I had quadruple bypass surgery, open heart surgery. March the 6th, this year. A few months ago. You talk about transition. I went from a happy human being who was probably the pickiest eater that you ever saw and had the daggum heart attacks anyway. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm angry about all those pies I passed up. And still had the heart attack. So I had the open heart surgery on March the 6th. They discharged me 6 days later and then began a transition into a new way of living for me. The things that I've learned, and I thank the universe for the hard things, because what I'm learning is that in transition, on the other side of that is knowledge that you never had before. Transition comes to teach you things you've never known before. Knowledge that we would not go seek out on our own. Okay? Especially people like me who hate change. But the new things that you learn when you go through the things that you do are invaluable. I always feel like you learn these new things because somebody is going to go through the exact same thing, and now you are going to be the professor. You're going to be the master of that thing. And now you can teach someone how to get from point A to point B and be virtually unscathed. Because you took the bumps and bruises to make that change. You suffered to get to that place. And now you have the wonderful honor of helping somebody else not suffer the way that you did to get where they're going. Isn't that marvelous? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
It is. It is. And so we endure these transitions. I was on 8 weeks lockdown. Now I call it lockdown because it felt like prison. I thought I loved my house. Be in a situation where you can't leave your house or drive for 8 weeks. You will hate everything in it. I did. Every atom of my house. I just couldn't take it. 8 weeks not being able to do anything. And then I started reading again. And I'm like, oh wow, I don't remember sitting down reading an entire book for at least 2 decades. And then I started listening to music again. And I'm saying to myself, I do not remember listening to whole songs for at least 3 or 4 years because I was so busy, I thought. Busy, just trying to fix the world. And then I realized the world was okay without me in my transition. That everything was moving toward a higher good without my help. This was my time to move to a higher good for me. And I was allowed that. And it was good. And nobody would shame me while I'm getting to that person that I'm supposed to be at this point in time. And I'm thankful for the ability, for the heart attacks,
so I could be the me that I am now. And again, everything is kinetic. Who I am now may not be who I'll be next year. But I'm thankful that I've learned so much that I would not have learned if it had not been for this transitional period. You have to be patient as you're moving to the place or person or thing you're supposed to be. Remember, if you're in the transition period, the way that you know it is that for some reason, nothing fits anymore. It's that simple. Those of us who've ever had struggles with our weight, you understand that very well. You get to a point where nothing fits anymore. That's transition. That's what it feels like. You wake up one day and the job just doesn't fit anymore. The life feels as if it doesn't fit anymore. There's a sense of discomfort in the things that you do, or the things that you have, or the way you're living. It's not comfortable anymore, and it's natural to try to move from that place to a place of comfort. That's natural. We all do. Those of us who have lucky beds like I do, we're going to try to move to that place in that bed where that big hump is not sticking up so we can sleep good, right? That's natural. That's how you know you're in transition. There's something that doesn't fit anymore. But if you want to hurry that transition up so that uncomfortable feeling will go away, 9 times out of 10 it's going to require letting go. There is something that must be let go. There have been so many times in my life that I've had to let go of ego. Because I can't get anywhere being private. Can't get nowhere being private. They said pride precedes the fall. If you're prideful, you've already fallen. You've already fallen. You're on the lowest rung of the ladder. Because nobody can teach you anything. Nobody can talk to you. You're not learning anything new. We were put on this earth to learn new things and help each other. And when you're prideful, you can't do it. So if something feels like it doesn't fit, to move into that place where you're supposed to be, it's going to involve letting go of something. And letting go is hard and difficult. Sometimes there are things that are yanked from us as individuals. There are people that are pulled from us too soon. It's always too soon. I don't care if our loved one used to be 132. That will still be too soon. And then we go through that transition of learning how to live without that person in our lives. And that requires a weird kind of letting go. But it's not letting go of the person. It's just letting go of the death. And if anybody wants to talk to you about that, because I do freak out, you're not letting go of that person. You're just letting go of death. You're letting go of the concept of death. You're letting go of this feeling that that person has gone somewhere. They were given to you to never leave. I like to tell the story about ships in the bay. Those who are going through and going through that transition call for it. I went to Veracruz when I was a child and I used to watch the ships in the bay. And every now and then, one ship that was finished by the master builder would have to go take a maiden voyage to see if it was sturdy enough to float. And so I would sit and I would watch this ship go into the horizon. And I could see it for a very long way, but then there's a point where it dips below the horizon and you can't see the ship anymore. And my mother told me, just because you cannot see the ship does not mean that the ship does not exist. And I hope that helps somebody's heart. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. Transition is a lot like giving birth, because you are about to come into something that you've never done before, but that will eventually be comfortable to you. If you're in a transition period right now, do these things. Number one, there are some things that you can hold on to. For me, it's my love of coffee. There are these things that help you through these transitory periods that may seem little to other people, but it's big to you. As you're going through your transition, hold on to those things that still make you happy.
your love of coffee. That's what got me through all of this. The one thing that the medicines didn't take from me, or all the new rules and restrictions I had didn't take from me, is that I could still drink coffee. And doggone it, I put a pot on every morning. Every morning. Sugar that bad boy up. Because I used to not eat sugar, but as I stated earlier in our conversation, I had the damn heart attack anyway. So I'm sugaring that coffee up, putting everything I like on it, a little bit of red whip, and enjoying that coffee, because even though I'm going through a transition, there are still some things that I can enjoy as I'm going through. Do not let go of the things that you enjoy as you're going through. If you're not enjoying anything, talk to somebody that knew you for a long, long time and remind you of the things that you used to enjoy. Because sometimes life will make some of your stuff go dormant until somebody reminds you that this is what you used to love. Hold on to the things that give you joy, so that when you do your kinetic thing and make your movement through, it will not be as painful. Do something about it. Know that there is some discomfort with transition. Know that there's discomfort with transition, but the discomfort will give way to comfort eventually if you go ahead and go through. Do the letting go. Hold on to the things that you do love, and then embrace yourself. Be patient. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. Lastly, there is a separation factor in transition. The letting go part, that's easy compared to that feeling of separation as you evolve from what used to be into who you are, or what you are, or where you're going.
May this flame that has brightened our time together warm our hearts, light our paths, and inspire our vision as we once again go our separate ways.
As we go, may there be peace, protection, and revelation on each and every one of our journeys. Blessings to each and every one of them. After the service, we would invite you to join us for coffee and conversation. Blessings to you all.